Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk to Tanner Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best version of yourself, not only for you, but for the people you love and care about most. Personal development is what we are all about here. And this is the last episode of 2022. Oh, wow. It has absolutely flown by. This is episode 187. Lots of learning, lots of action. And I hope this one can be a really helpful and powerful one going into the new year. I know many of us will be celebrating, or even this is kind of seems odd, but it also for a long time, it used to make me sad almost when I would see a lot of other people's social media posts, when it just these collages of how people are doing so incredible. And if I was, being blatantly honest, sometimes I'd be pretty jealous. I'm like, damn, I didn't do all that and I don't have that much money. And I would like to do more of this. I don't know if I'm capable, and just a lot of self judgment, which is a really dangerous and slippery slope. But maybe these questions can kind of help get us out of maybe a darker mindset or viewing it, and more just appreciation, or maybe an inspired approach. Like, those things should be inspiring to you. Maybe you're adding to your one-page life plan that we create over here. At in one of the sections, we go over goals, goal setting, and maybe you can get inspired or see over the next 3 or 4 days when people are making posts about their 2022. What would you want to do that you see over the next couple days? What do you want to implement in your 2023 plan? Okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on. I'm going to share my screen, and these are questions that are good for learning lessons, reflecting. Instagram, you can't see my screen that I'm sharing that I just popped over here. So for 2022, and these are to help with takeaways for 2022, lessons and highlights is going to be the first section, and we're going to just go over a handful of them. There's like 30 questions here for 2022 for reflection. I'm not going to go over all of them, but we are going to puke out a couple of them, kind of get the ball rolling and just get our minds working a little bit in the right direction. And then also there's a few questions we'll go over for making a plan for the new year. So, but I do want to have the basis and the focus on and building up some credit and helping ourselves. It is for 2022. It was a good year. Was it a good year? Let's go ahead and run through a couple of these. Number one, what is the most important lesson? What is the most important lesson you learned this year? What is the most important lesson you learned this year? This is a great question. For me, I would say the most important lesson you learned this year. I was just talking about this with my coach, and I'm pausing because my answers almost changed, is that you have to focus on something for a really long time to be good at it, to be successful, to make a lot of money. I've really gone against a lot of the side hustle stuff. You'll see a lot of advertisements. I'm sure it's based off of what I view on YouTube and, what I view on social media and the stuff I like to consume. But I get a ton of advertisements for try this side hustle, no effort, no time, no money up front, and become a millionaire. And a lot of that stuff's bullshit. Charlie Munger has this one quote of 95% of solutions belong in a swamp or something like that. So he's saying that you got to focus on your 5%, because that's where you're going to reap all your rewards from it, and the rest of it's garbage. I totally botched that quote, but it's something like that from Charlie Munger. But what is your most important lesson? It's just staying the course and being okay with that. Like, I'm not a multi-millionaire today, and I've come to peace with that. I used to get all riled up because I wasn't to the next phase of what I was trying to do, and more so living a lot more in the moment, loving my amazing girlfriend, being closer with my family, and working on my business, working on my projects that bring me a lot of joy and are going to bring me success in the future, but also not getting lost in the sauce of this needs to be bigger now and it's not. Now I'm sad. Okay, that's a lesson. So living in the moment, that was kind of like 5 lessons in one. But that's like the beauty of these questions. Just puke all your thoughts out, just get it all out, reminisce. And so there's no right or wrong answers to these questions. You're just trying to fire away. What did you enjoy the most? I like that question. What did you enjoy the most? This is a great question because it really, can solidify what your priorities should be going into the next year. What did you enjoy most? Damn. It's a time between, but the core meaning of it, I think, is the same. So between my girlfriend and I, we eat a lot of like good dinners. Like we cook a lot, or we'll go out to a nice restaurant, and we just, being blatantly honest, we eat a lot of really good food. We're really, really fortunate and spoiled in that way. We eat the goods. And there's something about sitting down at dinner with her and eating, and just eating good food, and being grateful we do this thing. Before we start eating, we ask, and it's not cheesy to us, we actually like it, and we actually do this, is ask, what is one thing you're grateful for? I do this sometimes with friends, and they just like give me a weird look, like I have a third eye. It's like it's not a big deal. Say something you're grateful for. Damn it, you're in America eating good foods. But anyway, just probably that's one of the things I enjoy most, is sitting down in the moment where you can like smell the food, and your mouth is like watering. My mouth is like watering. I don't know if I'm really hungry or something, but I'm about to eat the food. We're saying about things we're grateful for, and we're just excited. And then we eat a delicious meal. It's something small, but that's one of the things that I do really enjoy most. And then on my 1-page life plan for my personal relationships, it's do something kind for my girlfriend today. And in my goal section, it's to cook one very delicious meal every week. At least once a week, cook one really delicious meal. So what did you enjoy most? Maybe it could have been, and in a close second, I went to Canada and this year, and that was dope. Very, very much enjoyed that. We got to spend some quality time with my brother. Got to do some hardcore nature shit, rock climbing, kayaking, all that crazy stuff. It was really cool. So traveling, being present, eating good foods, asking yourself, what did you enjoy most? What did you enjoy most? This is another great question. How did you fail? How did you fail? How did you fail? And I think there's such an amazing learning lesson on this, because the word failure is all twisted. I think the word failure is a little overrated, and we should do a whole episode on this. But sometimes, like, just going out and failing isn't that great, because you could fail for reasons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you keep failing, you're not sure if you're failing. You might be just blaming one reason, but it could be the cause of another. So don't get too tripped up on it. More so, just view it as like, how did you go out and make a mistake on something? How did you fail? And then just kind of take the learning lesson from that. And it's like, is this really important? Did this do well for us? Did this help? How did you fail? And I would say I failed on cold calling and reaching out to people on social media a lot. Absolutely failed a lot. And there was a ton of learning lessons on how I can go about it. I can sell this. So essentially what we sell here is a 12-week program for you to create a life plan for yourself. Like, you're going to know your purpose. Why do you do what you do? You're going to know your top 5 values. You're going to know You're going to know your relationship. You're going to have a specific relationship like directive and incentive for both personal and for business. You're going to figure out how you're going to give back to the world. And it's got to be on a one-page format because we do all this work and we keep condensing it down. And so a lot of failure to create the product that we're really trying to focus on here. So how did you fail is the question. Okay, let's go into 2023. So those were some questions. These are some questions that you can go over to just what did I learn? Key takeaways, just growth. Good questions to ask yourself. Now, maybe just a few 2023 questions. What is your intention for the next year? What is your intention for the next year? Is it to build a business? Is it to develop a relationship with someone you love and care about? Is it to get in shape and get healthy? What is your primary intention? Primary intention. We talk a lot about that in coaching because if you have more than one or two priorities, you don't have any priorities at all. So we want to be able to condense that down and really focus on like, what is your intention? My intention is to help as many people reach their potential. So my purpose statement that you and I would come up with is through love and support, I guide people to their potential. Not that groundbreaking, not this paragraph, 2 pages long, just one sentence. Through love and support, I guide people to their potential. What is your purpose? Is your intention aligned with your purpose? These are good questions to ask yourself, kind of get the ball rolling, gears going. How will you make next year matter? They forgot the you in that sentence. How will you make next year matter? How will you make next year matter? Is there one particular thing that would make it meaningful to you? Was there one thing from this year that when you look back, when you're 30 years older from now and you're looking back at 2022 and 2052, what would you look at in 2022 that mattered the most to you, kind of along the lines? And then what would matter the most to you going into 2023, along the lines of like, what is your intention going into the next year? Talking about a few of these other questions, like what will help you step out of your comfort zone? How will you intend to be different at the end of next year? What skills do you want to learn? That's a great question. What is one skill that you would really like to learn? What is one skill you would really like to learn? I would like to learn how to close high ticket coaching sales. That's the main thing I want to learn is getting people. I'm getting a lot better at not giving a shit and just posting a lot of content, not scared to learn and grow and put myself in uncomfortable positions. I've done a ton of therapy, life coaching to figure out my own stuff because I'm a big believer. If you don't learn from your own personal examples, it's really hard to teach on it. Like I would never teach anything or make people do anything like this one-page life plan that has changed my life dramatically. I wouldn't have anybody do anything if I wasn't doing it myself. That's why we do this 7 a.m. every single morning, weekday morning. I don't do it on the weekends, but what is one skill that you want to learn? For me, it'd be closing high ticket sales. What would be one skill that you want to learn? Maybe it's like coming up with an idea or skill to do your own show. I mean, there's millions and millions of podcasts out there. It's great for credibility, creating content. I recommend it to everyone. Just jump on it. Everyone's doing it anyway. Might as well learn something or show yourself that you're good at it. Maybe you want to go take a class, an online class. It's called Coursera. I've taken a couple classes through that. It's cheap. I think it's like I paid $100 to take some University of Michigan course on sales, and then I've taken another class through them for economics, and they were both awesome. They're really good. I highly recommend them. I thought Coursera was really cool, but there could be a different number of things. And YouTube University, always a classic. Just be careful, don't running down too much of a learning rabbit hole and not taking any action. And that's why we have coaches, and that's why we get held accountable that way. But, and the last thing we'll go over, and which I think is probably the most important question when it's coming into the next year, is what will you say no to? What will you say no to coming into this next year? This for me is massive. It seems like when the environment's set right, when I'm just saying yes to the things that I care about that are in alignment with my top 3 goals, my values, that I have this damn one-page life plan in front of me 24/7 to just check it out, check in on it. And it's so funny that it's just a good anchor to like, okay, as long as I just say no to the things that trip me out, what would that be for me? That would be sleeping in. That would be eating past 9 o'clock. That would be watching television more than 2 days a week. Yes, I don't want to watch television more than 2 days a week. I think that shit rots your brain, and there's so much more that you can do with your life than watch people live their lives versus you go out and live your own life. There's not looking at my phone more than 3 times a day. Not looking at my phone more than 3 times a day. That stuff just pulls my attention. When I just do these things, then I naturally pick up like, wow, when I'm saying no to this, then I'm naturally writing more words, getting more words done for my book. I am doing my piano lessons. I am reading good books about people who are influential. Like this is just quotes of Benjamin Franklin. You think you're going to get more shit from this quotes on Benjamin Franklin versus you're scrolling on your social media? Probably. So setting yourself up, saying no to the stuff that's hurting us and saying yes to the things that are good for us. Saying yes to going to bed early. That's one of Benjamin Franklin's quotes, by the way, is early to rise, or it's like early to bed, early to rise is, you know what I'm talking about. I just butchered the crap out of that. But maybe you don't go out and get hammered with your friends multiple times a week. Maybe it's a drinking thing. What do we need to say no to help us grow and evolve into what it is that we want to do and get done? So these were some questions. I'll go ahead. This is a great article. It's from the Institute of You. They great job. Really, really liked it. I'll go ahead and leave a link for it in the comments. But yeah, great questions. Really appreciate it. Man, the internet, don't try and sell information. That's another lesson I've learned. Sell implementation. Everything you could ever want for information-wise is already out there. What you really need is a coach. You need accountability. Make sure we're doing this shit, right? But that's it for me. I'm bouncing out of here, friends. Everyone have an amazing, amazing rest of 2022. Cheers. And I'm excited for the new year to come, for the new opportunities. Let's have the right mindset. Let's help people. Let's keep getting better, because that's the greatest thing, the greatest gift you can ever give to the world is become a better version of yourself. We just like to do it through coaching. So, cheers, friends. We're out of here, and I'll see you all in 2023. See you next year, as the funny, quirky joke goes. But I'm out. Everyone have a great one. I love you all, and we'll be back with the new year with episode 188, Monday morning, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm out. Cheers, friends. Peace. Till next time. Hey. Later. I just coughed and swallowed my tongue at the same time. Cheers, friends.